Hi guys, Shamel Fleming here from FTwelve. I've come across this in my business quite often where people ask me about tax clearances, and I thought it's a good idea just to explain how it used to work and how it works at the moment, and then the changes that happened in between. So many of your customers and suppliers will require a tax compliance status to ensure that you are tax compliant in terms of rules and regulations of SARS, just like they are required by their suppliers. So prior to 2019, you would request a tax clearance. It would be valid for a 12-month period. You could obtain a hard copy from the offices, and that was valid for a year. However, you were never able to check whether the person was non-compliant or not during this period, and it then created a scenario where ensuring continual tax compliance wasn't always possible. In the last quarter of 2019, SARS then moved over to a tax compliance status system. And they then issue you with a PIN, and the PIN would allow any third party you authorize to then check on your status on a live system on e-filing, which means that you have to continually be tax compliant in order for your tax status to be regarded as compliant. So I'm going to just take you through to how to get your tax compliance certificate.
To log into e-filing, use your existing username and password. Select the tax compliance status icon on the e-filing dashboard landing page. The tax compliance status service activation workpage will be displayed, and the tax reference number will be pre-populated on the screen. Select the tax compliance status checkbox. Read and accept the disclaimer checkbox and click Activate to proceed with the activation. A message will notify you of the successful initial activation of the service. Thereafter, all functionality will be listed under the tax compliance status menu. You will need to first complete the registration verification to finalize the activation process. If you click Continue, this will display the entity reference number confirmation process page. Please note that no changes to details are allowed on this form. Any changes must be made under the SARS Register Details functionality. Carefully read and accept the declaration, and then click on the Submit Form button to submit the form to SARS. Click Continue to proceed, and this will display the My Compliance Profile page. The My Compliance Profile dashboard displays your individual compliance requirements, the status indicator, and the description that reflects the summary status. By selecting the Expand buttons, more information regarding the compliance status will be displayed to guide you on further action should it be necessary. Click Tax Compliance Status Request. On the Type field, a list of TCS request types will be displayed. Select the applicable type. It will be either Tender, Good Standing, Foreign Investment Allowance, or Immigration. Then click Request. Complete all mandatory fields on the form and select Submit. Note: if you want to receive an alert when there are changes to your tax compliance status, please make sure you complete your email address on the form. The results will be displayed indicating the request reference number and that your application has been successfully submitted. Click Continue. The tax compliance status page will now display your request. If you expand the option, this will display a summary of the TCS request submitted. Click the Request Reference Number hyperlink, and it will display the tax compliance status workpage. Here's your tax compliance status PIN. You can share your tax compliance PIN with a third party via SMS, email, or a printed letter. Note: in order for the letter to be generated, you must log out and log in again. Once the letter is generated for the PIN, the TCS workpage will be updated, and you can click on the View link to open it. Here you can view your PIN and the PIN expiry date. Note: the PIN is valid for 12 months.
So it's important to remember that tax compliance status for any business is not static, and that changes according to your continued tax compliance and your tax obligations. And it is always better to be proactive in managing that than a reactive approach. So I hope you found that very useful. Thanks for joining us.